All right, you guys. I was just thinking some more about what's going on, and I thought I'd share it with you if I can remember it. All right. Basically, like we said before, the creators of this world and this place, whoever designed all this and created all that, they basically set up the Canadians in a moral dilemma, like a test, to test their character and test their intelligence and test whether they're good or evil. And Canada chose evil. They chose power. They chose a lust for power and control and stuff like that. And they're still doing that to this very moment. They just keep getting worse and worse and worse. You know? But basically, they turned themselves in this dilemma. The way it was set up was so that they would become the heart and soul of evil if they dared do anything bad to me. And they still keep doing bad things to me all day, every single day. Because they're fucking idiots, you know? And basically, another element of this design, another aspect of the heart and soul of evil test, was that if they did choose to be the heart and soul of evil, all humanity has to do is plant seeds of goodness on this world. And it's the best place to plant them is Canada, but you can basically plant them anywhere. And seeds of goodness are things like truth and logic and common sense and stuff like that. You know, so all you have to do is basically cryptically insult the Canadians in some way, or you just flat out insult them. Just, you know, teach them, try to educate them, and make them see the truth about themselves, so that you're destroying their minds and their souls beyond belief. You know, and making their lives miserable like they deserve for the horrible things they've done. Because what they've done is so unimaginably horrible. They're literally attempting to subjugate every man, woman, and child in all of existence. They really are trying to do that because they're sick in the head. You know? Something they were just telling me. Oh, I forgot it. Damn it. It had something to do with, yeah, that's what it was. It was like, even if you don't understand the things that I'm telling you completely, even if you don't truly comprehend them, you need to just remember the definition of the word good, acceptable, and just keep remembering that and try to look and learn and invite, because when you're thinking about goodness, you're welcoming good into you. And if you're welcoming good into you, it means you're rejecting evil. You know? So if you just keep trying to welcome good into you, just constantly think about goodness, welcome it in, and it'll just keep pushing out evil and pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out. And it'll literally get to the point where you learn so goddamn much. Like I have learned so many perspectives of good and evil and stuff like that. It gets to the point where you look at humanity and you can literally, just by looking at them, you can see all the wide variety, all the billions of levels of evil that they are. You know, you can see them. And even if there was a great deceiver on this world, I mean, there's some pretty good deceivers on this world, but you can get to the point where you learn so much and your mind becomes so clean and clear and crisp. Even though they'll use technology and stuff like that to try to pollute your mind and ruin your progress, you can learn so much and your mind can become so clean and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner that when you look at people, even a great deceiver and stuff like that, just the way they dress and their color combinations, the way they walk, the way they talk, the tone of their voice, the way they carry themselves, their facial expressions, everything, all of it can basically rapidly expose their true colors as a person. It really can. You know, like you can tell that it gets to the point where you can start telling which people are great deceivers. Just even the greatest deceivers of them all. You can start seeing their warped little minds, no matter how hard they try to hide it. Like they'll try to convince you on this internet that there's psychopaths and stuff like that are so well-rounded and stuff like that in their minds. They're so cold and calculated that they can deceive almost anyone. And it's like, maybe the majority of evil, but it gets to the point on this world where you start to see things and you see people and just talking to them for a split second, just talking to someone for 5 seconds, and it's like boom, you know, you're not trustworthy. It literally starts to get to that point. Like your mind just keeps ascending and ascending and ascending and ascending and ascending to where you can start to identify evil people really easily. And then you don't get scared. You're filled with an extreme disgust for humanity, because it's like nobody will trust you. Nobody will, like in my situation, it seems like nobody will trust me at all. But all you have to do is, even if you just take the videos and the letters that I wrote, the unmolested ones, and plant them on the internet, just keep spreading those seeds of goodness. Even just reading them every day, just reading them every single day, several times a day, just reading them and reading them and reading them and reading them and reading them over and over and over again. It can literally like it's like in welcoming good into your mind, and it can start. It's like the gods and stuff of this place. If you're welcoming goodness into your mind, you might be able to actually start to slow down the descent and start reversing it and pull yourself out of the abyss. Like the Christians, for example, they've been spreading that demonic evil crap for so long because they have no sense of good and bad or right and wrong. So they just sit there and spread like those seeds of goodness, like Jesus telling everyone, plant those seeds of goodness. Spread the gospel, spread the gospel. But it's all twisted evil shit. Just have faith, spread the gospel, spread the gospel. And it's like, no, all of Christianity is extremely, like he spoke in parables with you to be confusing and stuff like that. Spoke in parables to basically tell you that, you can't be trusted, or he can't be trusted. He's trying to speak in confusing ways that, like, rather than speaking in a way that's really simple and really easy to understand for new minds and stuff like that. He speaks in parables and confusion. Maybe it means this, maybe it means that, maybe it means this, maybe it means that. And that simply means that he's untrustworthy. So you don't want to spread his seeds. You don't want to spread the gospel. You don't want to spread your religions and stuff like that. You want to spread pick up a fucking dictionary and try to figure out the true definition of good. But I'll tell you, it's simply that which is acceptable. And just keep thinking about acceptable. What's acceptable? What's acceptable? What's acceptable? Is this acceptable? Is that acceptable? Is this acceptable? Is that acceptable? And just keep thinking about it and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. And the more you do that, the more, that's all you gotta do. You don't have to spread the gospel to fucking ascend and become a better person. All you have to do is just think about good and bad. Not what somebody else thinks about what's good and bad, but what you think about what's good and bad. And start welcoming start welcoming into your mind goodness. Just think about goodness constantly. What's good, what's bad, what's good, what's bad, what's good, what's bad. And try to think and learn. What is acceptable is simply things that improve the quality of life of acceptable beings and destroy the quality of life of evil beings. It's really that simple. So you just look at everything. Is this acceptable? Is that acceptable? Blah, 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 blah. Those are seeds of goodness. And when you think about it, you're welcoming good into your mind and your soul. And there really are gods in this place. I'm telling you, I've got proof of it, like thousands of videos and stuff like that, and language arts projects and all kinds of cool stuff. You're like, when you do that, you're welcoming that good into your life, which means you're rejecting evil. And the gods are like, okay, these people want to do it. So like I said, even if you just take the unedited letters and stuff, like, even if you're like a really dark-souled person, like really fallen and screwed up, it's like in some situations you gotta try to think logically. Just keep welcoming good, and eventually you'll start to see that what I'm telling you is pretty much just blatant, simple truth. So all you gotta do is take those seeds of goodness, like the letters I wrote, and most of the notes and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if I'd do the full hate speech ones or not, but when I was really in bad moods and shit like that, and basically being told by the gods how foul and retarded these people are because they won't change, the Canadians and the Commonwealth, that is. But anyway, like I was gonna say, if you just learn about welcome goodness into your mind, which is your soul, welcome goodness into your soul constantly. And when you do that, you're inviting it in and be like, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And then when you're inviting goodness in, it means you're rejecting evil. When you say, I want good, it means you're rejecting evil. And then you just start learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, and you learn more and more. Like, I've been learning for like 7 years, and I still keep learning more. Every single day I learn something new. Every single day I learn something new about good and evil. There's a lot of perspectives of good and evil in this world. I mean a fucking lot. Thousands and thousands and thousands of perspectives of scenarios and ideas and stuff like that. Yeah? But like I said, you gotta have faith in, like, just use some common sense for a while. Just think and be like, just spread those seeds of goodness. You know? You can canvass the streets all you want, or something like that if you want. That's what the Christians do. They sit there and they canvass the streets trying to spread seeds of goodness, thinking that somehow they're going to be saved. And they're just making themselves worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. You know? Because they're destroying countless lives, being like a disease. You know? Because Jesus is a great deceiver. Yeah? But anyway. So yeah. Even if you... What was that thought I just got? What would you want me to say again? It had something to do with, like, yeah, even if the freaking, even if there are deceivers who edit letters and stuff like that, once you start thinking about good, you should be able to look at the letters and be like, okay, some of this seems good, but then some of it seems edited and evil, because you can see that there really are evil people trying to corrupt and ruin everything I say and everything I do. You know, they're scumbags. But if you just think about things and learn and learn and learn, you know, you'll start to be able to see that kind of stuff. And you'll see how screwed in the head and evil the majority of people are in this world, especially the governments of, like, Canada and the Commonwealth. They are the darkest, demented, evil piece of shit filth you could ever imagine. You know? But anyway, there's some thoughts for the day. We'll talk to you later.